Hi, my name's Emma Bagley. I'm founder, CEO of Zeal Agency, a UK-based Amazon marketing and management company. We help brands scale on UK, Europe, and the US, and we work across multiple categories. So today I'm going to talk to you about conversion rate optimization, and I have a presentation to share with you. To share my screen. Okay, so clicks don't pay the bills, conversions do. I'm going to talk to you about how at Zeal we use consumer psychology to win on Amazon. So, firstly, let's introduce you to the term CRO. CRO stands for Conversion Rate Optimization. So, if we think about it, if we get traffic, whether that's through Amazon PPC or organic SEO to a product listing, that is only half the job. Once users land on your listing, that's where the sale is made. Conversion rate optimization is about making the most of that moment. Even just a 1% increase in conversion rate can have a huge impact on revenue. Let's have a look at a maths example talking about that. So, 1% conversion lift. Imagine a scenario where you're getting 50,000 sessions, so visitors to your listing. Average conversion rate on that listing is 10%. Imagine that the price of your product is £40, $40. So the revenue impact, if we've got 50,000 sessions and we're converting 10% of them, that's 5,000 orders at £40 an order, that equals 200,000 revenue. However, if you increase that in conversion rate by just 1%, that means that you'll get 5,500 orders and 220,000 in revenue. So that's a 20,000 revenue uplift without spending any more on Amazon PPC. So that is pure profit. Okay, so conversion rate optimization is not. So I'm going to give you an example of a case study. This is a brand that we've been working with for some time. So I'm going to show you kind of like before and after we've worked with them. So conversion rate optimization is not just about telling shoppers all about the features of the product and everything that it does. Okay, so here are some examples of gallery images that do just that, telling you about the levels, the features, the benefits, how the product works in terms of how the dog puzzle toy in this instant, how the dog uncovers those treats. It's also not about brand storytelling, okay? Customers don't really care. It's not about you as the brand, it is about the customer. And CRO is certainly not just guesswork or gut feeling based on what your design team or your VP thinks looks great and that they think shoppers definitely want to know about your brand. CRO starts with understanding what the buyer needs to see, hear, and feel in order to say, yes, I'm going to buy that product, and removing any friction that gets in the way. So let's take a deeper look at this. Okay, so at Zeal, and what sets us apart, we believe, from other agencies is our absolute passion for conversion rate optimization. Every agency, including us, can send high quality PPC traffic to a listing. But what happens when the shopper lands on the page, on the product detail page, and that's about conversion. So at Zeal, we use a structured process. And we actually have a custom built software system to extract audience insights before touching a single image or bullet point. And this presentation is going to talk to you about that process. Okay, so we're going to literally lift the hood on that system so that you can replicate it. Step one, we always start with, as any good agency would do, is understanding what keywords customers are typing in to find products like yours and your competitors. Okay, so looking at your keywords isn't just about data, it's really giving you customer insights. What are people typing in to find a product like yours? Okay, so that's stage one of creating content. You can use a variety of tools to help you do this. Data Dive, Helium 10, we love all of them, brand analytics. The closer your language on your content, on your product detail page, matches theirs, the more trust you build. You're showing them that, you get them. Okay, so top tip, as well as this keyword analysis, make sure you take a note of those key phrases that your customers are using in their testimonials and in their search. Add them to your copy and creative. And there's just a little reference here to Rufus, which is, I'm not going to go into this in any detail in this presentation, but your images now, your product detail page, Rufus can read those images and that text. Okay, so it's actually not just important that you're doing a keyword analysis for SEO. Look at what Rufus is saying about your product, and make sure that your product detail page is now also optimized for Rufus. Here I've got an example. I typed in a question about my brand, the brand that I'm partnering with. Show me the best dog puzzles. Now, luckily, they did actually show you my clients' puzzles, dog puzzles. But it was summarizing what customers were saying on the reviews and also in the images as well. So really super important, but not to dwell on it today. Step 2. Okay, so this is testimonial analysis. This is where we look at reviews of our products, of our clients' products on Amazon and off Amazon. We look at competitors' reviews as well on Amazon and off Amazon. We bring all of that into our software system. You can do this at home as well without our own custom built software. But reviews are absolute gold mines. They're nuggets of information that can be used not just for your listing optimization, of course, but for new product development insights too. So remember, customers only leave reviews when they're either overwhelmingly positive or overwhelmingly negative. Okay, so digging into our positive testimonials helps us understand what it was that engaged, excited our customers enough to take time out of their busy day. It's a gold mine of emotional language, outcomes they care about, and what problems they say are now gone as a result of buying that product. So over the next few slides, I'm going to demonstrate using a recent case study example of the different ways that we use testimonial analysis and apply these insights through a behavioral psychology lens to create powerful imagery optimized for conversion. Now, behavioral psychology, we haven't got time to teach you everything there is to know about this huge topic. There's lots of books on this. If you want to reach out to me, I can recommend some. But the main emotional drivers that we need to tap into are listed here. I'm going to look at 2 of them today. I'm going to look at nurturance and relief. And as I say, you can read more about this in many books or do a degree in behavioral psychology, but we haven't got time for that today. So I'm going to look at first one, relief. Okay, so this is one of the main motivators actually that people do buy a product. Okay, relief. Most advertisers, of course, understand that customers buy for benefits. Okay, not features, benefits. But something that most advertisers miss, which is 10 times more powerful than benefits, is actually understanding what pain our buyers are trying to escape from, get relief from. Okay, so by deep diving into reviews and testimonials, we get a better understanding of their consumer psychology. Find out what behavior or frustration they were desperate to solve, and then we can put that front and center in our first 3 most impactful gallery images, as well as bullets and A+ content. I'm going to show you an example now. Okay, so this is an example of a relief motivator. So when we were doing our testimonial analysis, what came through consistently from the testimonials is that shoppers for this product actually wanted relief from that stress and overwhelm of the home when the dog has been destructive. Okay, so we crafted a storyline about that current situation, all of the things they wanted to escape from. Okay, so there was what we found was there was a variety of pre-purchase pain points, destructive behavior from their pet, separation anxiety, signs of boredom, etc. So what we're trying to do is really aim for relevance here. We want the customer to see themselves in this image. Interestingly, golden retrievers are one of the most naughtiest dogs, as we found in the review analysis as well. So if you take a look at this headline copy, it's straight away hitting that pain point and that motivator of relief. They want relief of destructive behavior and they want that fast. Okay. So the next psychology motivator I'm going to just give you a brief overview of is aspiration. Okay. So another main motivator as to why people buy products. Okay. Aspiration, or in other words, what transformation that shopper wants to generate through buying that product. Okay. So it's really, really super important to remember that we don't just want to solve, we don't just want to show what problems we solve with that product. We want to show what life will be like after the shopper has purchased that product. Okay. What will their day look like? What emotions will they feel? That's why people buy. Testimonials really do contain this hidden aspiration. Let's take an example. Okay, so this one here, so after obviously we created a sense of agitation in the previous gallery image, reminding them of all of the challenges that they wanted relief from, we then moved them, the next gallery image, into a post-purchase transformation. Okay, all of the things that they wanted to move towards. They wanted a feeling of calm. Okay, so in testimonials, customers noted frequently that the relationship with their pets had improved significantly since using the toy. We also noted a lot of pet personification language, essentially customers putting human emotions and experiences onto their dogs. So we reflected that in our image here, with our language like teach your dog to play, solve and succeed. Okay, A+ content is often overlooked and many brands simply just copy their gallery images over onto the A+ content. And in my opinion, A+ content is the most untapped growth lever. A+ content provides brands with an additional opportunity to connect with prospective buyers through losing language and visuals to sell, upsell, cross-sell. So sticking with the same client example here, just some examples of how we translated our audience insights into A+ content that converts. Really, really simple message, and simplicity often wins. This format is excellent for concisely showing what the buyer can expect to leave behind, get relief from, and what they can expect to after their purchase. Okay, so we've got these gloomy, grayed out, nasty behaviors, and then we've got the colourful, happy, joyful behaviors that we do want to be able to see in our pets. Okay, and obviously we took from the testimonials which pets, which dogs were really causing that kind of stress in the home. So this is basically what we do at Zeal. We always start strong. We use the first 3 gallery images to create emotional resonance using the main emotional motivators that were identified as significant in the testimonial analysis. And every product, every brand will have different insights. So, another client might have a completely different emotional motivator that we need to tap into, for example, enjoyment or achievement. Okay. So what we then obviously do is the remaining gallery images, we have to promote other product details, remembering that consumers do mainly buy because of emotion, but they also need to back it up with rational information as well. So this is about marrying psychology with practicality and covering all of the bases so the customer has everything they need to make that purchase decision. And we're tapping into the emotional side of the brain, the rational side of the brain, we're tapping into the heartstrings, and that is where conversion happens. Now, importantly, obviously, we've only got a really super short session today. really importantly, from those review insights, and you can look at which are the most significant motivators that are driving people to purchase. Now, I would take one or two, not try and do all of them, but take the top two most significant and test. Okay, so test. Always important on Amazon. You've got the A/B split testing. So A/B test different orders of these motivators, different angles, try different emotional hook, always tracking what's working. I mean, there are other companies as well that I'm not going to promote in this session that also can support you with analyzing through A/B split testing, what works, what's going to drive that conversion. But the goal is really to constantly refine based on real data, not just assumptions. Okay, so what I want you to really think about and take away from this session is thinking like a pro. The ultimate goal for your listing is for the customer to think, wow, they know me. They know where I am. They know where I'm trying to get to. And I really believe they can help me solve this. And that is when you win the sale. When shoppers feel seen, understood, and safe in choosing your product. That's when the magic happens. Okay, so in terms of as a closing point, final thoughts, if there's one core message I want you to leave this session with is that conversion rate optimization, CRO, is about aligning with the buyer, not just adding more content or more pretty pictures. Okay, tap in to the emotional mindset of your shopper. So I challenge you to go back and look at your top products reviews this week and then try reordering your images and test it. So, and that leaves me to my final slide. Just want to say thank you very much for listening and attending and listening to this session. If you want to learn more about Zeal Agency and how we help brands supercharge their sales on Amazon in Europe and the US, then get in touch. I'm on LinkedIn all of the time. Reach out to me by email or visit us at zealagency.co.uk. Thank you for listening.